Hello everyone and welcome to some more bonus draft content. I'm Neetsahone and I do a weekly draft video on this channel, and I also try to do all of the flashback drafts of Magic Online. I did miss last week. I had too much going on in my life to fit it in, but we're back this week doing the Scars of Mirrodin block flashback draft. Before we get started, I do want to remind you guys that my content is also featured on a great Magic the Gathering website, 5colorcombo.com, and they are building the first drafting, brewing, and playtesting app for web and mobile that works together seamlessly. They'll have a Kickstarter up on October 3rd that you can help them achieve their goal of making this app. And in the meantime, you can just check out their website to see if you want to contribute or not. So this format is not a format I've ever played. Actually, that's not true. I just drafted it one other time just a minute ago. So I've drafted it once. It's not a format I've played a lot of because, as I've mentioned in some other flashback draft videos, I played from about Urza's block to the to Lorwyn block, and then didn't come back until Theros. So I missed like all the stuff in between, which includes this. From what I understand, it's not an amazing format. I had a lot of fun with triple scars, so it's a little disappointing. But it's most the problem people have with it is the Phyrexian mana cards kind of skew the draft in a weird way because a lot of them are just the best cards you can take out of a pack, and any deck can play them, and that's kind of awkward. So I'll see you guys when the pack opens. Hopefully, we can have some fun with the format. All right, so this is our pack. We got a sweet foil Chancellor of the Tangle, but I don't think it's what we take when we have Phyrexian Ingester right next to it. It's a great card. It's also a Vault Scourge, which is pretty good. Vapor Snag, which is good. Blinding Soul Eater is good too. Chancellor of the Tangle is nice, like he can give you one extra mana. But the problem with him in Limited is sometimes you just don't have a 2-drop to play on turn 1, you know? So he's not amazing other than just being a huge Vigilance Reach creature. Phyrexian Ingester is nice because he is a removal spell, and he can just eat anything, and then he gets huge himself. So I think it's just what we take here. I do know, and I have heard that blue is the weakest color in the format, but I think opening up a Phyrexian Ingester is a good reason to be in it. Blinding Soul Eater is probably the next best card in this pack. This thing's a clunky removal spell, but it can destroy anything, basically. But yeah, we're going to take the Ingester here. It's a card I love in general, actually. Love him in EDH. Ooh, Alloy Mirror's really good. Mana of any color, so he splashes for me. But there's also a Volt Charge. And Volt Charge is just really good. I mean, it kills, always the 3 mana, 3 damage thing is good. And in this format, it'll occasionally do something when you proliferate. Because there's poison counters, there's +1/+1 counters, and so forth. So it's either Alloy Mirror, who's like super good in general, or Volt Charge. The thing about the Alloy Mirror is we could play it in any deck and it helps us fix. The thing about Volt Charge is it really pushes us towards red, which isn't a terrible place to be, admittedly, but it's kind of a hard pick here. When I haven't played a format a lot, it's a lot harder to tell like 2 really top high quality cards, like which of them is better for me. The Merge has a lot more flexibility. The Charge has more power in general. I think we probably take the removal spell. As much as I like Alloy Mirror, I think that in the end, we want the removal. Pit Driller, super good card. One of the Phyrexian mana cards that kind of screws up the format, but really good. Putting a counter on something is awesome. And we have a card with Proliferate already. Spinethopter, also very good, but I think Pit Driller is actually better. A removal spell with a decent body is a good deal, I think. And even the nice thing about the -1/-1 counters as opposed to -1/-1 till end of turn is it sticks around forever. So we could build a Mer deck. Yeah. Vapor Snag's pretty good. I might just be what I take here. And we could also splash for the Ingester, it's worth noting, if we just end up in a completely different deck. Scourge is fine. I like Deathhood Cobra okay. Geth's Verdict is okay, but these effects aren't as good in Limited as they are in Constructed, especially in a format with like Golems and Mirror tokens and stuff. So Tanadon can be played in any deck. Pristine Talisman can ramp us a bit and gain us life. So I like all of these. I think it's either Tanadon or Vapor Snag. The thing about the Tanadon is we can play it any deck, and it's a pretty good aggressive creature in any deck. Vapor Snag, if we end up only splashing blue, we're not going to be playing. So I think I take the Tanadon here. Okay. Well, this is a Soul Eater that can gain Infect. This already has Infect, and this has Infect. This Soul Eater is like definitely the worst of all of them. I don't understand why that had to happen. But this is a creature with Infect and Evasion who can also make people discard a bunch of cards. Isolation Cell is kind of cool, but I don't think it's probably worth it. So do we want Whispering Spectre here over like these less good cards with Infect? Yeah, probably. Furnace Scamp is bad. Gremlin Mine's an okay sideboard card, but we'll take the Spectre. So we have a card with Proliferate, so going Infect isn't the worst plan in general. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's really good. This is another good card with Infect, but I think this is too good of a removal spell to pass. We make our opponent sacrifice a creature. Granted, they get one more swing in with it, but then we also get a Myr token, so I like that. Numbing Dose is pretty good, but I think this is better. Yeah, Corrupted Resolve would be funny, but we'll take Parasitic Implant. Okay, Impaler Shrike. That's just a good card in general. 4 mana for a 3/1 that can occasionally Ancestral Recall. There's also a second Pith Driller. I think that's probably just better. I think it probably is as good as Impaler Shrike is. Pith Driller we will play no matter what we end up in, and it's a good card. So, yeah, we're gonna take the Pith Driller. The Green Soul Eater, ooh, probably Apostle's Blessing here. It can protect, again, this is the Phyrexian mana problem in that I'm just like taking all these cards that haven't really committed to a color yet, which is a good thing, admittedly, but I think it's a weakness of this format in the sense that you shouldn't be able to be so open about your colors like so late. And I think it's a format that has been criticized a lot, and I think that's partly why. So Vapor Snag, clunky removal spell, or just a ramp card that isn't amazing. Or a creature that's a 3 mana 3/3 when it attacks. That's not too terrible, actually. I don't think I want a second Tanadon. So do I want a Snag or the dude that'll play in everything? I mean, he doesn't block well. Or the card that can help me ramp. We do have a 7-drop, so it might be worth it. I think I'll take the Talisman. Doesn't fix, unfortunately, but... All right, well, Numbing Dose. We have a second Parasitic Implant. Is this card just worse than I think it is? I mean, it kills things. It does give your opponent another turn with the thing, but I think it makes up for that by giving you the Myr token. I think I'm going to take a second one over Numbing Dose because black seems to be something that we actually want to be playing. I'm not convinced about any other colors, really. Our Volt Charge is nice, but we have some decent black cards. Dementia Bat, huh? Yeah, I guess it's just the best, maybe the best card in this pack anyway. 5 mana 2/2 flyer, can mind drop people. Sure. Don't love it, but I'll take it. There's that Mir Superion, which we're not going to be playing. We don't want that, but I guess we'll take it. Maybe we should take this. Yeah, it's at least we can cast it in any deck, and maybe we actually play it in our side of our sideboard at least. So far, in terms of colors, we have one card that has to have red mana, one that has to have blue, and this hopefully isn't going to get played, but 3 black cards that require black mana. So black seems to be the one we're the deepest in. We also have 2 Pith Drillers, and they do get a little better if you can choose at least to pay the black. So that's not bad. This doesn't seem terrible. I guess is what I take here. Some more Phyrexian mana. So Infect gets kind of bad. I mean, we have one creature with Infect. I don't love it, but it's okay. I mean, making them discard several cards isn't the worst thing. The thing about Infect is it's a little worse in a format where players can just be paying life and not worried about the fact that they're getting poison counters. Like you're not pressuring them as much in this format. So yeah, Scrapyard Salvo seems like it has potential, but you'd have to build. It seems like it belongs in a deck where you get like 1 million spell bombs, basically. And that's harder to do since we don't have triple scars, which is where all the spell bombs are. So you guys basically all cost 4. So let's move you there to make our curve look a little better. So right now we don't have an easy way to splash the Ingester, but we may just end up playing blue, which is going to make me sad. I passed that 4-mana 3/1 flyer who can draw me 3 cards, but, you know, that's okay. Volt Charge is really good too. I mean, it was our first pick, right? Or was it our second pick? Second pick. So I'd like to be able to play it. So we could either end up being red-black or blue-black and then splashing the other color. That's what it looks like to me anyway. All right, well, it looks like black is the right color to be in since we opened Black Sun Zenith. Go for the Throat's really good too, obviously. Vidalcan Anatomist is good. I like Serum Raker too. There's lots of good cards in this pack. But man, this card, I mean, it's a board sweeper, and that's just hard for me to pass. I mean, the thing about it is that's a problem of sorts, at least, is that it hits our creatures too. So we kind of have to play. We have to play in a way that we like. If we have it in our hand, we have to like play around it. But the thing about board sweepers is like this can just get us out of a situation that's going really far south. Go for the Throat can get you out of a bad situation, but not a terrible one. As good as it is. So I think we just take. I think we just take the Black Sun Zenith here. Yep, that is what I did. Okay, we can be looking at green cards too, it's worth noting. I mean, there's no reason we shouldn't. So this would be kind of a fun combo with Black Sun Zenith. Wipe the whole board. He's not dead. We have enough artifacts to think about metal crafting. Concussive Bolt only hits players. Oculus is a solid card. Treasure Mage. Well, in Phyrexian Ingester, why aren't you an artifact? Treasure Mage is good, but only really if you have stuff for it. I think we probably just take Spread the Sickness. You know, it kills something and proliferates, so sure. Okay, ooh, Viridian Corruptor. Hello. I think we're moving into green. That's a strong enough card. We do want to try to find a way to splash blue, pick up some mana dorks, or ways to search for them. I don't know. I also like Phyrexian Rager a lot, but Corruptor is really strong. But I think blue is what we really want to be splashing because of the Ingester, how strong it is. But this is really strong too. Another Treasure Mage. Still no 6-mana artifacts or more in our deck. So Rotwolf is pretty good. It does push us more in an infect direction, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Blister Stick Shaman is also pretty good. I mean, Treasure Mage you could pick up with the idea that you're going to pick up blue. You could also just take Gust Skimmer, but we're not sure we're playing blue, so I think I just take the Rotwolf. I feel like Viridian Corruptor is enough of a reason to be in green. It'll just almost always be a 2-for-1, and those are hard to say no to. Okay, well, we have a way to pump our guys, and it pumps them even more if we have Metalcraft. Where's the Wellspring that lets me search for a land? That's what we really want. It may just be Gliss's Courier. Man, Burn the Impure is another good removal spell in red, though, isn't it? Man, I mean, we could take a green card here that's playable, like Gliss's Courier or Mirrodin Metal, especially because we have Infect going on to some extent. I mean, it's a good trick in general, and then, you know, and we can get Metalcraft, not amazingly, but we can get it. Burn the Impure is probably the best card in this pack. Tine Strike's also worth thinking about, but I think we want to stick with a green card. I'm going to take the dude, I guess. Another Gore Vassal, huh? Another one of these, and a Quicksilver Geyser. Another good reason to splash blue. Man, those Time Strikes are good. If I'd picked up both of those, we'd be in good shape for an Infect deck. I don't like Caustic Hound very much. Or a Copper Carapace, or Horrifying Revelation. I think we just take Quicksilver Geyser, because in the off chance we end up splashing blue, it's just better. It's just a really good card. I like Phyrexian Rager here. I'm happy to see him come back. We don't have any 2-drops, so that's something we definitely need to pick up some of. There's one here. It's not an amazing one, but it is a 2-drop. It has Infect. So neither of those are terrible things. Crush isn't a bad sideboard card instantly. Neurot Commando is also pretty nice, just because between Shroud and being able to draw you a card every time it hits, but it just dies to so much stuff in this format. I think I'm just going to take the bad 2-drop here that's in a color we know we're playing because we really need a 2-drop. There's another one of them. That might just be better for our deck with Infect and so forth to be able to give stuff trample. We could take Hexplate Golem, who's a perfectly reasonable dude, you know, if your deck can get to the 7-drop slot, and I think ours can. I mean, a 5/7 is, you know, a 5/7, but I guess I'll take this guy and see how things go. I like Oculus. Now I think we do take Hexplate Golem, but I'm not convinced. We haven't even picked up a way to splash blue yet, so for our Ingester, who's definitely much more splashable. Wow, Blister Stick Shaman's still around, huh? Guess we'll take a Caustic Hound here. I'll take a Flare Husk. I'll probably even play it. So 1-drop. Morbid Plunder. If we end up enough creatures, especially like bomb creatures, it's not bad. But right now we don't really have those, other than our Ingester, who we can't really splash right now. But yeah, I mean, like Black Sun Zenith into Hexplate Golem, things like that are pretty awesome. Proliferate plus Black Sun Zenith is nice too. I mean, if we pick up a way to splash red, I think we would do that too for Volt Charge. So if we find a way to fix our mana, I would also not mind replacing these terrible-ish Flenser Mites. Hey, they're gremlins. Don't think I realized there were gremlins before Kaladesh. They're not red like the new gremlins, but they are gremlins. Yeah, you've got Infect. Happy with our Pith Drillers for sure. Creatures with Infect. I mean, the thing about Viridian Corruptor, even though it has Infect, like, it's amazing even without it. So blowing up artifacts is a great thing to be able to do in this format. Lux Cannon. Man. Is that good? Is it too slow to be good? I mean, being able to destroy anything is nice, but I think it might be too slow to be good. I think it is. We have Equiclomber, who's a great creature with Infect, but there's also a Grasp of Darkness, and while I'm not convinced I'm playing an Infect deck exactly, I'm pretty convinced Grasp of Darkness is amazing. So I think that's probably what I take here. Sunspear Shikari, you know, whatever. We're not white, but those are good cards if you can get equipment. Yeah, so I think we just take Grasp. I don't think... Lux Cannon's definitely worth thinking about. It's a pretty cool card. Someone else can play with it, though, because I think it's just going to be too slow. Destroying any permanent every 3 turns seems too slow to me. Man, now there's a Galvanic Blast. Rustic is pretty nice. It's better than it looks. I've discovered that for myself when... we also have a Relic Putrescence, but I think that's probably not good enough, even though it poisons people. I discovered that myself last time when I played Triple Scars, and my opponents were I had an opponent just keep tapping stuff down, and I was like, man. Oh, God, there's also an Oxida Scrap Melter? Really? I'm not convinced we're going to be playing those colors, but man, that's good. Genesis Wave, also a cool card. It's just so much better than Rustic. If I can splash red... Scrap Melters are so good, but I guess that's a big if. We need like the green Spell Bomb, which is right here. I guess I should just take this actually, now that I'm saying this, because we can draw a card off of it, and it also helps us fix for our Ingester. So yeah, I'm taking it. We want to be able to play the Ingester pretty badly. It's just really good. It's a really good card. Plague Stinger, if we're thinking we're still an Infect deck of some kind, but I'm still not really convinced. But we do have ways of infecting, and that is an evasive way of infecting. We don't have any way of pumping creatures, though, is kind of our problem. Lifesmith isn't bad. We have a ton of artifacts, so we'll be gaining life off of it pretty often. So I think I take the Lifesmith. And Volt Charge is probably gone. I mean, Phyrexian Ingester is just so much stronger. I think we splash that instead. So yeah, I think I take the Lifesmith here over the Infect creature. Is that right? Is that the right thing to do? I mean, we don't really want to be playing either of those. They're bad Infect creatures, but I think we do want to play Lifesmith. Darksteel Axe is a nice equipment. Black Coven Vampires is good if we have enough artifacts. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's probably not quite enough. We do have Blight Mamba, though, who's good in any deck, and Ichor Clobber. Seems more and more like I should be playing Infect, huh? Yeah, these cards are both really good. It's either the Mamba or the Ichor Clobber. I like that the Mamba can block forever while putting counters on things. The Ichor Clobber is obviously better at attacking, but I think I'm going to take the Mamba. Blister Grub. Yeah, probably just Moriok Replica. What do you do? Yeah, well, that's not terrible. I mean, it costs mana to put the counter on, but there are worse things. Contagious Nim isn't bad either. I probably should have just been an Infect deck instead of... I've sort of veered away from Infect in most ways. I'm just sort of like a good stuff deck at this point. Yeah, we'll take the Replica. It's kind of fixing in a weird way in that it can draw us cards and get us closer to our mana. Okay, Ichor Rats is another good thing, but I think we probably just take Fume Spitter as much as I like Ichor Rats. We're not really an Infect deck, unfortunately. Yeah, so we'll probably take Fume Spitter here. Yeah, we will. Okay, now I think we do take Ichor Clobber. We could also think about Chrome Steed. We probably have enough artifacts to make Metalcraft worth it, but I think we just take the Ichor Clobber. I mean, our deck can conceivably win with Infect. It's just not going to do a great job of it. So, yeah. Soul Eater has Infect. I mean, I think I'm going to splash the Ingester, run 2 islands and a Horizon Spellbomb. I think that's probably good enough. Glimmer Post. Yeah, Molder Beast, huh? Well, we have 1 Spellbomb that works with that. Yeah, I mean, that's probably just what we take. Don't know that we play him, but I don't know what else we would play. What else we would play out of that pack, I mean. Black Cleave Goblin, I guess. I'm probably not going to play him. Yeah, things have pretty much dried up, but I think our deck's okay. We'll take another Molder Beast. We're definitely not playing 2 of them. And then we'll take this. So, our deck, I mean, it has some pretty good finishers, like Phyrexian Ingester and Hexplate Golem. It can also just win with Infect, although it's not going to be very good at focusing on winning with Infect. I probably can cut this Courier. I think we want the Talisman as high as our curve is. I think we cut the Courier, though. I like Rager more. Whispering Spectre. I mean, this is going to have the potential to just like play it and make my opponent dump their hand, which isn't bad, but in a lot of other ways, it's pretty bad. Do I have enough creatures to make that worth it? I might. I don't have a lot of ways of like going wide or anything, though. I may just want these vampires. It's a decent sideboard card, at least. Will be unblockable against some opponents. Yeah, we definitely, in the seat we had, we definitely could have built a good Infect deck. I just didn't feel like it was going to happen, and it just kept happening. I shouldn't have doubted. I should have just taken the cards that said Infect on them. Should have just done it. But I think our deck's okay. I mean, it is a pretty solid deck, I think. One I feel fine about. The Ingester's really strong, so at least we can splash him. We need to cut a couple of things, and it might just be this Spectre. It is one of our dudes with Infect, but he's kind of meh compared to what else we have going on in the deck. So do we have enough artifacts to warrant playing the vampires? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, probably. I think we probably do have enough to play it. Molder Beast probably doesn't make the cut, though. We have what? 1 artifact who can sacrifice itself, right? Yeah. So, goodbye, Molder Beast. I like Rotwolf. You know, being able to draw you a card whenever if it blocks and kills something is a 2-for-1, and it can do that decently often. So the question is, do we want to bounce to splash Volt Charge more? And I think the answer is no. The Ingesters cost 7, so getting the blue like way later, which is probably what's going to happen, isn't a huge deal. So I think we stick to that. We do need to cut one more card. However, I think this deck is one where we probably don't want to play first. This is a format where you don't always want to play first. And our deck is pretty slow. And most of the decks in the format are pretty slow. Not all of them are, but most are. So I think playing first, I think drawing first is going to be better for this deck. Most of the time. It could just be Hexplate Golem. As big as he is. Yeah, probably is just Hexplate Golem. Yeah. I mean, he's fine, but I'd rather be playing Ingesters or Black Coven Vampires for the most part. All right, well, I think this will be our deck. We want to run 2 islands, I think. Sort by color. I think we want to run 2 islands. We don't need to run any planes, though. Now I really wish I'd taken that second pick, Manimer, who produces mana of any color, that's for sure. But we have 4 cards that want green. One of them wants double green. So I think we probably go... Is 925 going to be good enough? Our mana is going to be a little shaky, I can tell you that much. But I think this is probably okay. Playing the Corruptor might be wishful thinking, though. We could think about cutting it and putting something else in. But the Corruptor is just so good. I mean, can I get away with wanting just 1 island? Yeah, probably. Yeah, let's do that. I think 9/6 one's better. 1 island plus the Spell Bomb is probably good enough. It's not awesome, but we obviously have a lot of green cards that we'd like to actually be able to cast as well. So, why is there planes? That's right, because, okay, this is going to make our mana even better. So we can still squeeze in an additional island if we want to, or an additional swamp, or an additional forest. 6, 1, 9 isn't bad, but we need to include one more. 9 swamps is probably enough. I'm kind of leaning towards the forest more than I'm leaning towards... I mean, we have some 2-drops who are green. Yeah, so we're going to go with the forest here. All right, this is our deck. We'll see how it does. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.